Hello! How you doing there? Just got done repairing a Nikkor lens for a person. The aperture spring fell off. He dropped it. I got a neat little toolkit, a nice little precision one for doing various fine repair work. Anyway, everybody keeps asking about the new Nikon, I said Nikkor, the new ZFC. You know, there's a blatant obvious fact that none of the other YouTube shills are talking about. And the reason why they don't talk about it is either one, and there's only two possibilities, they're ignorant, yeah, which is possible. Or number two, they have an affiliate link so that they get a kickback to the new Nikon ZFC camera. Here's the fact on the Nikon ZFC camera, and I don't know why anybody's even considering it. It is, by the way, directed almost entirely at the Asian market. Now, I love me retro cameras. I've owned the retro digital cameras from Fujifilm, including the X-T1, X-T2, X-T3, and here's the X-T4. Of course, this is a lot less retro than the X-T1, X-T2, X-T3. Why would you buy the ZFC? Do you know what the ZFC is? Now, since Nikon is financially, in dire straits, as is evidenced from the fact that they themselves announced about a month and a half ago that they're not going to make any more cameras in Japan, and the people in Japan take extreme pride in their Japanese-made cameras, so that's a huge deal. They also, too, shut down several of their major factories in Japan. That's huge. Nikon is in huge financial straits. However, to make it look like it's still alive, kind of like you ever seen that movie Weekend at Bernie's, where there's this dead guy and they keep moving his arms and making it seem like he's alive to all his friends? Yeah? So there's some folks at Nikon that are playing Weekend at Bernie's with Nikon's camera line. Yeah, they're moving the corpse like it's still alive. The new Nikon ZFC is the guts of a Z50 camera. I don't know if you're familiar with the Z50 camera. It's a very cheap, inexpensive, it's a fine little camera. Cheap, inexpensive Nikon camera. Yeah, it's currently $850, I believe. Of course, the new Nikon ZFC, not much more, is only basically $100 more. It is a Z50 guts inside of a retro magnesium and plastic body. Let me repeat that for you. Even though it's like, wow, it's retro. And I have to admit, the ZFC is kind of cool, yeah? Until you actually get your hands on it and you squeeze it and you notice it's like the Nikon DF. It looks really tough, but there's a lot of plastic. The center section was polymer, which is no big deal. I mean, it's not meant to hammer nails with. But it's a Z50 camera in a retro body with some dials on it. Now, if I were somebody at Nikon, and I can put myself in their place, like, we don't have any more money left for research and development or advancing anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of money and make a magnesium mold and some dials for a retro-looking Nikon camera. And then we're going to shove the guts of an already existing Z50, which is what that is, inside the body. We'll have this neat new, but it won't be new. But it'll look new, and it'll be really cool looking. It's kind of cool looking, yeah? I admit, people, hey, it looks kind of cool. It's a Z50. Inside of a retro-looking magnesium body. That's all this camera is. If you want a retro camera, and I don't work for Fujifilm, I don't make money off of any of these camera companies, okay? If you want a really cool camera that's built a lot better and has about 1,000 times more features than the ZFC, why don't you get yourself a used or even new Fujifilm X-T3. I forget what you can get like a new X-T3 for, but you can get it a whole lot cheaper than a ZFC Nikon. And it'll be about 1,000 times better, with a whole lot more capabilities, and way faster autofocus, as in way, 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 way faster. Did I mention that the ZFC doesn't have IBIS? I personally myself don't care about IBIS, don't need IBIS, yeah? It's handy for video, but I don't need IBIS for photography. ZFC doesn't have IBIS. Yeah, X-T3, it's another matter. So, unlike the other shills on YouTube that want to have you click on the affiliate link so they can get a kickback, I don't have affiliate links. Yeah, and the ZFC is not a camera that I would even dare consider. Not even a chance. Why would you consider it? There's an honest appraisal from someone that spent more money on Nikon gear than most of you combined. Has Nikon tattooed on his body for the rest of his life, because I grew up with Nikon. I sold Nikon. I fixed Nikon. I love Nikon, but Nikon I've known since day one, well, nearly since day one, that they're an extremely hubristic company. They're exactly like IBM was. Completely full of themselves. They didn't listen to the people, and then they doomed themselves. Sitting up in their ivory towers, sipping on their champagne and you know, the little drinks with little miniature umbrella. That's what Nikon's like. We're Nikon. Nikon's hubris has caught up to them. I don't want to see Nikon fail. I don't hate Nikon. How could I hate Nikon? I've spent more money on Nikon than any of you have spent on Nikon gear. But why would you buy this camera? It is a cheap Z50 inside of a retro body. It doesn't have IBIS. It ain't worth the money. I said ain't. Why would you buy it? Why would you consider buying it? Why? I ask you to ask yourself while you're brushing your teeth. Ask yourself, why am I interested in this inferior, slow camera just because it has a retro face on it? You know that's just a magnesium shell and some dials, right? On top of a Z50 camera. That's exactly what it is. It's not worth buying. For less money, get a used XT3, or I think a new XT3 is actually cheaper than, considerably cheaper than this camera is. It's not worth buying. Yeah. How about taking some advice from somebody that is not trying to sell you something? Have you ever considered that instead of, you know, these click weasels out there that have an affiliate link for everything and want to pimp and sell you stuff? Yeah, they don't really know much. Yeah. Now they talk nicer to you. Hi, how are you doing? Click my link below. Make sure to click the like and subscribe button. Yeah, they're wonderful pieces of humanity. I'm sure they've got better advice for you than I do. Sure. Sure they do. No, they don't. Nikon.